Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with Cross County Thunderbird head coach Van Paschal. This pigskin preview is brought to you by Farmers Truck and Trailer.
Hello everyone, and welcome in and welcome back to the Hometown Sports Arkansas Football Preseason Preview presented to you by the Arkansas Sports Network. I'm Alex Gallion. Alongside me is the new head football coach of the Cross County Thunderbirds, Coach Paschal.
Yes, sir.
Coach, appreciate you so much for taking time out of your day.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't talk really about last season since this is your first year. Let's talk about the transition. Where was you coaching from now, and what made you decide to come to Cross?
Gotcha. Well, I was at Heber Springs the past year, and long story short, after meetings and offered a job and accepted to take the job, and I got here sometime in late January.
So far, how's it been?
Well, it's been good. It's just been a transition. It's a smaller school from what I've been used to. It's a 2A school, and I've been in almost every classification except 2A, so it's good for the soul.
Yeah,
like that.
It's new for you.
Yeah, it's been a little bit different, but it's good. It's all good, and you learn things, and until we die, we're going to always, if we're doing something, we'll learn. So, but kids are good. The community is tremendous. Tremendous administration, school board here. And you hear a lot of people say stuff like that, just give lip service, but it's true this time.
I understand.
I really enjoy it, and the kids are working. We're not where we want to be, but we're striving to get there.
Can you tell us about maybe any returning players, or really just kind of tell us about some of your players coming up this season?
Well, Gunnar Land will be a senior. Gunner's a linebacker. He's a returning starter that will be on Cross County. Now, we hadn't put a pad on, but we feel pretty confident that Gunner's going to be the guy to land. Isaiah Huff will be another a senior this year that will play on both sides of the ball. So those are two seniors for sure that I can tell you today that barring something that's just wild that will turn and start and will do a good job for us.
I want to talk about maybe some of maybe a surprise player. Is there anyone from the junior high that's moved up that's really kind of improved in the weight room this offseason?
Yeah. Well, guys that are getting recognition right now, Danny Bill. Danny Bill is a highly recruited class of 26. He's a top recruit in the state of Arkansas. He's 6'5", 330 right now, and he's just turned 16 years old. But he's getting major D1 looks all over the country. Roger Williams, he'll be a junior. Roger Williams will be a junior. Rod's about 6'4", another 330 kid, and is getting some looks as well. So those are two names that are out there that people know about a little bit across the state. And then everybody else is digging and clawing, and you never know what individually that rewards that they'll get. But as a team, that's what I strive, that we play as a team and we reap the team rewards. That's where we're at the moment, and putting that together. As far as the junior high kid, coming up, we've got AK Craft is a kid that is really playing well for us right now. Early in the season, I think that he'll probably be a starter for us as a sophomore. That one jumps out at me just off the top of my head. Caden Crawford. Caden was here last year. He moved back to win, but he's come back now. He'll be a sophomore. He'll be a projected kid that will start for us probably. Very good chance to maybe go both ways. So, but I can name every position on the field if you want. It's just whatever you want.
I got you. Yeah. I want to talk about obviously you being the head coach of the Thunderbirds now. Most if not all of the attention, negative or positive, is going to go straight towards you. I want to talk about some of the assistant coaches and kind of what their roles are and how they help you on and off the field.
Sure. Well, assistant coaches, Caton Hill is our defensive coordinator and coaches slots on offense. We run flexible on offense, and so he's been in that role before I got here as a DC, and done a good job and doing a good job now. So he's kind of my right hand man. Everything that I need help with. I go to Coach Hill, and of course he grew up in Cross County. He knows the area, knows this place well, so it makes sense. But he's doing a wonderful job. Connor Haig is coaches secondary and wide receivers, and was here last year, and again works hard, does a good job. Excited, and these guys are young too, so that's a big deal. And then Coach Jamar Clark, we just hired Coach Clark out of Jonesboro. He was working at St. Bernard's, played at H-State a few years back, and played in the NFL for a little while. So he's got some good experience, and he hasn't coached ball previously. He's been working, like I said, through St. Bernard's training kids. Yeah. And so he said he was offered. He's had chances, but it never was right for him. He said he felt like this was maybe the right deal that the Lord was leading him to this situation. So we're excited to get him.
I want to kind of, from a coaching standpoint, how do you see the team relationship between your players on and off the field?
Well, when I interviewed here, I tried to tell the superintendent, I said, I can't tell you what it is about me that the kid is going to like or dislike. If he dislikes it, he probably don't want to work. But if he likes it, I think it's just honesty that I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to follow up. I'm going to be fair, but I'm going to be firm. And, a lot of folks today coach with hype, and there's nothing wrong with hype. I'm going to bring energy as well. But I want to say they coach with a false sense that that's not really who they are. They're trying to be somebody else. Never done that. Coaches that I admired, I grew up watching Tom Landry and Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not Tom Landry. Who do I kind of admire? Vince Lombardi of the Green Bay Packers. We're talking about way back in the 60s, and stuff like that. But I look at those guys, study them a little bit, and see how they operate and how they can get their teams to be successful. But you are who you are. I think you got to be who you are, who God created. You can't be somebody else. I just think they know that I'm real. I'm going to treat them right, but at the same time, we're going to set a goal, and it's my job to get them there, push them.
Of course. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about kind of y'all's offensive and defensive schemes. You don't have to get into great detail about this. You already talked about your offense a little bit, the flex bone. What else can you tell us about your offense?
Well, if you know flex bone, it's triple option. We're going to read pitch, and there's bukus of things that you can do along with that, But,
flex bone's always fun.
Yeah, it is. You got a top 6 plays that we strive to run, prep every day, and then you throw in I call it the candy, the fun stuff for the kids. That's just a repetition thing that we do every day. Defensively, it's multiple. I think I like the 3-3 stack stuff, but what is a fit? Who are we? We don't know today. We're running some 3-4, we're running some 4-3, we're running some 3-3. Eventually, we got to hang our hat and be somebody. But I think all this. The kids are going to dictate that, and that's the way I look at that. Let's don't make them fit. Let's see it evolve and become who we are.
Last season, you guys went 5-4 and 3-3 in conference. You guys tied y'all's conference record. I want to talk a little bit kind of about this upcoming season schedule. We'll talk about non-conference first, then we'll talk about conference. But do you guys have a scrimmage game this year?
Yeah, we scrimmaged DeWitt on August 20th.
Okay.
Right here. DeWitt did really well last year. Tommy Cody's come back home to DeWitt. I knew he'd do well, and he has. He's got them rolling, which is great for DeWitt. Well, they've needed that for a long time. I've coached Brinkley when DeWitt's last maybe really good football team way back in the early 90s, and they've had a dry spell. But Tommy's got them going. So I wanted to play somebody that was pretty tough, pretty good. So we're gonna get a good look there, and then we're going to regular season play Harrisburg first game of the year. Then we're going to go to Palestine and get to play my son, who's the head football coach over there.
Oh, wow.
It's a big hype deal. And then we come back and play Piggott, and I think after that it's open date, and conference starts with McCroy, and after that, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, I could probably pull it up actually here, kind of what y'all's conference schedule is going to look like this year.
Tough league. We're going to play Mark Tree. We're going to play East Point State County. We got ICC now.
Desart.
Yeah, we got Mariana.
Israel
Desert
County.
always tough.
And Israel County is coming off the state championship.
There you go.
game, so,
There you go. So tough. It's a tough conference.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It's a very strong conference.
it is.
How does your team feel about that? Especially with now having a new
You
coach.
know, if I said how the team was feel about it, we haven't talked about that. I mean, I say we is with myself and me talking about, hey, the league, we're trying to tie our shoes today. We want to tie our shoes today, get our shoe to fit right, get our helmet on straight, put our clothes on. I mean, that's where we're at. We're starting from scratch, from the ground up. And I'll be honest with you, when I was a young coach, I heard about John Wooden, and if you did everything, all that took care of itself. Well, I believe that now. I didn't believe that when I was young, but I believe it now. If you take care of everything before you get to the game, it doesn't matter who your opponent is. If you know how to play, you know how to play together, you know what you're doing, you got all the reps in, you study the film, it doesn't matter who lines up. You just play.
Coach, I've got to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
This season will be successful for the Cross County Thunderbirds if. I know that might be a hard question to ask, but.
Well, you always got to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say the if for me is just that if God wants to bless the Thunderbirds, I'm going to take the blessing. And that's the number one thing. But at the same time, we work, and we produce, and we play, and we practice, and I always believe you reap what you sow. And so a lot of things have to line up. They really do.
Yes.
But I'm grinning because I'm thinking about my son. When he played for me, he heard me say, "You got to want it." Well, he makes fun of me now. If he calls and says, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm inside the house watching TV." "Oh, you got to want it. You got to want it. You got to go outside and do something. You got to want it." So that's a joke now, but you got to want it. They've got to want to be number one more than Coach Pascal does.
Yep.
Because I do. But I can't play anymore. I can coach as hard as I possibly can, but as a team, if we don't want to be one, then we won't be one. So we got to want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been Coach Pascal.
Yes, sir.
I'm the brand new head football coach of the Cross County Thunderbirds. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining me this afternoon. You can check out all the Hometown Sports Arkansas football previews presented to you by the Arkansas Sports Network, all live here on YouTube and Facebook. And don't forget to like us on Instagram at AR Sportsnet. I'm Alex Scallion. We'll see you next time.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.